Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Let's wait a couple seconds to see who all is going to be joining us. We already see a couple attendees. So happy to see you all here.
Hello there.
Oh yeah, I see the room is getting pretty full now. So everyone's joining us.
Great.
Awesome. So excited for our session today. What about you, Fatima?
Same. I hope our attendees are also excited for the session. Hope we're gonna have some fun together, talking about youth engagement.
Yeah, very important topic.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started and we'll see who else joins us along the way.
All right.
Once again, thank you everyone for joining us in today's session. You have myself, Reese, and also Fatima, both youth advisors to the World Scout Committee, and we will be talking to you all today about youth engagement in decision making. So let's get started. Fatima?
Yeah. So hi everyone. It's good to see you all on this virtual webinar. Let's go through our agenda first. So first part is meet and greet, but it's not only us, but we want to meet you. So we're gonna go through that first. Then we'll give you a definition of youth engagement and hear your thought about that. We're gonna talk about the importance of youth engagement and also about how you can be involved in decision making. We're gonna go to tips for success, and we're gonna wrap everything up with our Q&A session. So throughout the our presentation, if you have any questions, you can put them in the Q&A box. In case if that doesn't work for you, you can also post them in the chat. All right.
Yeah, perfect. So let's go ahead and get started with this meet and greet. We have a Slido for you all. So you can use the code there at slido.com, or you can scan the QR code. And we want to know, where are you from? So if we move on to the next slide, hopefully we can see some answers coming in soon. Which country are you from?
Let's see. Okay, so were you all able to enter the Slido? Maybe we can go.
I see like a couple participants typing, but it's not showing on the presentation.
Okay.
So technical issues. What is the Slido code again? So can we go to the previous slide just for a second there?
Yes, let's go.
There we go. There's the QR code, and there is the code itself that can help.
Okay.
And then let's go to the next slide. And okay, so it's not showing up. So I'll switch over for a sec here and share my screen where we have the answers coming in. So which country are you from? I see here we have, Canada, but living in Sweden, Indonesia, Philippines, Hong Kong, and a couple more people typing in. So awesome. We have people from all around the world.
Great. I see a couple of answers in the chat as well. So USA, and then there's India.
Wonderful. Nice. Glad to see we have some diverse participants today. Okay, let's go on to the next question, where we have a question for you all again. And the question is, which country do you think we are from? So you have three options there: Brazil and Egypt, Azerbaijan and Belize, and USA and Tunisia. So where do you guys think we are from? Very curious to know. All right, I see some answers coming in.
Okay,
I'm not going to tell you just yet what the right answer is. What do you think, Fatima? Do you think we're going to get it right?
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay.
I have my hopes up though, but you know.
Yeah, we never know. All right, so we see the answers coming in and 67% Azerbaijan and Belize. Fatima, tell us, is this correct?
Yay, this is correct. Thank you, guys. I'm actually from Azerbaijan, and Reese here is from Belize. We have youth advisors from Brazil and Egypt as well, who are not here with us today, but yes, you are correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome. So we'll jump back into the presentation now. So glad that you guys got that right. And we were able to see which countries you all were from. So let's get started on youth engagement.
Okay, so let's first define what is youth engagement, and you can put your thoughts in the chat box as well. So what is it? We have a definition coming from the documents of WASM as well, from the conference. So we're going to share that first. Let's move to the next slide. So first, in scouting, how do we define youth engagement? We define it as a meaningful participation and sustained involvement of young people in action in which they use their time, intelligence, talents, skills, and abilities for making positive change in their own lives and the lives of others, which results from strong connections to a particular idea, person, activity, place, or outcome. So if you're involved on any level in scouting, and you're taking your time to do that, you're making input, and giving your ideas and spending your talent and on activities in scouting, it means that you're already part of decision making. Yeah, so this is what we define youth engagement in scouting. Okay. So here we want to talk more about how we at Youth Advisors are engaged in a body called World Scout Committee. Right, Reese?
Yeah, that's right, Fatima. So as you guys can see in the below picture, we are actually a part of a larger team, which is the World Scout Committee. And there's 6 of us, 6 youth advisors. We get to bring our youth perspective to the different working groups and meetings that we have. So I guess we can share a little bit about our experiences. Fatima, do you want to start us off on that?
Sure. So as youth advisors, we have our, well, 2 main responsibilities as youth advisors and also as committee members. So we have in youth advisors, we have people working in communications, and then a person that works with our regional colleagues, as well as someone from the youth advisors in the steering committee, that being me. And we also have our roles in the committee. Me personally, I'm involved in the work, more administrative work, so in the steering committee, and also I'm an oversight for the Safe from Harm area, which I also want to remind that we have a Safe from Harm week in May, so don't forget to get involved in that. We're going to have some interesting webinars there as well. And there's a lot of change in the Safe from Harm area happening now. And I'm trying to more oversee it and work closely with our volunteers and World Scout Bureau staff to improve that area. What about you, Reese?
Thanks, Fatima. Safe from Harm is such an important topic for our movement. And so we are so happy to hear all of that work is being done in that area. For me, well, I am a part of the World Events workstream. So I had the opportunity to work on the concept note that created the idea behind what our new conference will look like. So that was pretty exciting. And it was a very young team of young people, actually, that got together and helped create this document. I'm also a part of the finance committee, so I get to help with all of those numbers. I know a lot of people don't like balance sheets and income statements, but it is in my background, since I have background in accounting and business management. So this is actually a field that I'm very comfortable with. And further to that, I'm a part of the core coordination group. So I get to help oversee all of the work streams and all of the projects and making sure everyone's staying in the timeframes that we have, and also seeing what issues are arising and how we can resolve them. So that's been some very interesting work. I never experienced anything like it before, but I was totally excited to learn. And then recently, I've been doing a lot of work when it comes to the next strategy in scouting. I'm pretty sure you guys heard that we had a whole survey out called Youth Talks. I hope you participated in it. It's actually still going on, so you can feel free to share your perspectives and insights on it. And this was really important as a part of the research phase for our next strategy, because we want to hear what are the young people thinking our future should look like, and what are the needs they want addressed. And so this is going to provide us with insight so that we can create the new strategy and our new vision. So super excited about all of that. And it has been quite a roller coaster, but a good learning experience, to say the least.
Well, Reese, that sounds like a lot of work, but a lot of important things for our movement, and especially for young people, as we are the future of scouting. And future our communities, which is important to remember. And it's great to see youth involvement in the community as well. So that's great. Excited about the youth talks as well. I hope that a lot of our young people participated in it. And I think that this was a great opportunity for being involved in decision making on world level as well. So that's great. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide.
Yeah, we actually have a video because we wanted you guys to see a little bit more about what happens at these committee meetings. So a short little video from our last committee meeting in September. Feel free to enjoy it. Yeah, that's Maury, Patrick. Yes. All right, let's start the video. Oh, that video brings back such great memories, Fatima.
Building our business times. Yeah. Exactly. I share the same sentiment.
Yeah, so we're gonna jump back into the presentation itself. But we wanted you all to see that, you know, there's a lot of discussions going on and topics that are being discussed, as well as updates that are being shared. And this is really important for us to be a part of, because again, we have to highlight the fact that our basic principle in scouting is that it is a movement of young people supported by adults. It is not a movement for young people managed by adults only. This is why it's so important for young people to be involved in decision making. I'm sure that you don't want decisions made without your consultation if you want to see progress or improvement. And so in order for that to be possible, young people have to step up and they have to speak and they have to voice their suggestions, their concerns, their issues. And this is why we thought that it was an important topic for us to bring to KISC JOTI, for you all to know that we want to hear from the young people. Again, our movement is for young people. So what better way to know what young people need and what they want than to hear from them? So if we move on to the next slide, we will see a very important thing that we want to highlight to you all tonight. And that is your perspective matters. Because as young people, we have our own experiences, our own qualifications that allow us to give valuable and unique contributions to the different discussions and issues that we are having in various different decision-making bodies. And so I don't want you to think, oh, well, I mean, I think somebody already said what I was thinking. No, you should still share your thoughts. And especially so if you aren't quite sure how you want to say it, you can ask questions, find out how can I best be able to bring across what I'm trying to say. And also, listen to those around you. But this slide is basically showing us that you are important, you are unique. You may not have a lot of years behind your belt, but you have your own life experiences that are going to allow you to contribute. And this contribution is so very important. What do you think, Fatima?
Yeah, absolutely. Well said, Reese. I mean, on ward level, we are your representatives as youth advisors. And it's also important for us to hear your voice and to see what is your perspective, what is something that you feel you need in your NSO or in your local group that you feel that you want to share with us so that we can bring it up and see how we go on with that. Because as we say in scouting, youth is in the center and we get support from adults, but it's important to remember that you are in the center of our movement and you are the people that we're working for, that we're putting our efforts for, and you're putting your efforts as well. So it's definitely very important for us that you share your perspective with your leaders, with us, with anyone you feel like it's important to share with, so that we can put your perspective into the future of our movement.
Yes, I love it. You added those words perfectly, Fatima. So if we go on to the next slide, we have a question for you all. And it is, who can be a part of decision making? So go ahead. In the chat, share with us, who do you think can be a part of decision making? We're really curious to hear your response to this question. So I'll give you guys a couple of seconds to go ahead and type your answers in the chat. And again, this is a part of youth speaking out, so we definitely want to hear from you guys. Let us know, who do you think can be a part of decision making? All right. Clara is telling us everyone with a question mark. I would delete that question mark and I'll put an exclamation point instead. Us, everyone. Yeah, that's beautiful. You guys got it right. Okay, so if we go on, if you click, we will see an image of a mirror. And this is basically telling us that if you look in a mirror, you can see who can be a part of decision making, and that is everyone. And again, we want to highlight that you all as young people, you can be a part of decision making, and you should be a part of decision making. You should let your voices be heard, because we need to hear from the future generations that are coming up. What's happening? What decisions do you think need to be made for us to be able to create the better world that we are so adamant about following? So yes, you guys got it right. Awesome, everyone. And as a result, let's continue on. I think we have, how can you be involved? Fatima, tell us a little bit more about this.
So yeah, let's go a bit into details on how can you be involved on different levels in scouting. So first is the local level. You can be part of decision-making in your local group if you're involved in a local group, and also by participating in local community boards. So as you know, in scouting, we have different partnerships as well. But what is important for us that as young people, we become active citizens and be involved in our community. So it's important that you bring your perspective not only in scouting, but also share it in the community. So on the national level, two of the things that you can do is be member of your national board, which is a decision-making body in your NSOs, and also be delegate to your national youth forum or conferences. And I believe that most of our NSOs have that. And I know that some of the NSOs also have some workshops and seminars around youth involvement and youth engagement and decision-making, also helping you to prepare for your youth forums and conferences. So make sure to not miss out on those as well. Then on regional level, you can get involved as regional youth advisors. So it's basically like me and Reese, but on regional level, and be part of the regional committee to shape your decisions and your future on a regional level. And also you can get involved in the regional youth forum and conference as a delegate or as an observer, also to share your perspectives there. So on world level, two of the things that we already talked about, well, one actually is to become a World Scout committee member like us, and also be a delegate in the World Scout Conference. And something that we have not mentioned yet is a volunteer in the operational framework. So basically, operational framework is organized regarding the triennial plan that we have in scouting. So we have different fields, different parts as safe from harm, or we have youth engagement and decision making. We have strategy for scouting this year, right? So we have different fields, sustainability, different fields that we're working on for the next 3 years for the triennia. And of course, it's not only staff or the World Scout community members doing that. We have a huge team of dedicated volunteers that are involved in the operational framework. And I don't even think that we could do anything without them. They're amazing. And I hope that you're going to be able to get involved in the operational framework at some point as well. We always share it on our social media when we have open calls. So make sure to not miss on those as well. All right. Yeah, let's move on, I guess.
Yeah, Fatima, that was some really valuable information. And I also want to highlight that you guys can reach out to your leaders at your local level, national level, even the regional, world level, if you have friends there. Find out what are the other opportunities out there for you to be a part of decision making, because there are so many. And we invite you to stay tuned with World Scouting and all their social media pages, because that is also another way where you can see updates on opportunities for participating in the different initiatives that we have. So that being said, let's take a look at this slide where we have some tips for success, because we know as young people, it can be a little bit intimidating to be a part of these types of boards. And so we wanted to share with you all some tips that we use to help us. The first one is seek information. It's really important for you to understand, what is my role? What is my position? And what are the topics that we are discussing? You have to have an understanding of what is being brought to the table for you to be able to contribute in an informed manner. And so it's going to be important for you to ensure that you read the documents, that you do your research, and you have everything that you need to be able to ask the questions that you need to, or give the suggestions that you have. So seeking information is going to be one of the top things that we definitely recommend to you all. The next thing is tied into this. It's ask questions, because we don't know everything. And so it's going to be important for you to ask the questions that you need to. Don't feel shy about it, because who knows, there might be somebody right next to you that doesn't know the answer to the question either, but they were a little bit too shy to ask. Well, if you ask the question, now everyone will be able to know the answer. So definitely ask those questions and ensure that you understand the responses. If you don't quite understand what the responses, then ask for further clarification, because the point of asking a question is for you to be able to understand what the answer is. Next, we recommend that you speak up and out. Again, we know that as young people, sometimes we want to sit back and just observe everything, but we need to have our youth voices heard in order for us to know what are the issues that our young people are facing, what are the needs that they see in their communities, in their countries, and in the world. And what are these innovative solutions that they have? Because you might just have the bright idea that will help to revolutionize our movement, but we will never know that if you don't share it. So definitely speak out. Even if there's somebody that has already shared something that is very similar to what you've been thinking, go ahead and share as well. Tell them, hey, I support what you've been saying, and this is why. Also, if you are in an opposite opinion of someone, then you should also share that. Again, in a respectful manner, but it's okay to have different viewpoints, because again, we come from different areas in the world, we have different experiences, and this enables us to have different perspectives. And these are the different perspectives that we need to hear about. So definitely encouraging you all to speak up and to speak out, because your voices are important, you are important, and we need to hear from you. Fourthly, because that was the third one, we need to actively listen. I don't know if you guys have been in a conversation before, but I have experienced this, actually not in scouting, but outside of scouting. And I would be talking to somebody and I would be trying to explain something to them, and then they would be nodding their head and saying, yes, yes, and then they continue the conversation, but they disregard everything I just said. And I feel really hurt because I'm like, wait, did they hear anything I just said? This is the opposite of active listening. And so this means that active listening is where you truly listen to somebody so that you can understand where they're coming from. You don't have to agree with them, but you need to understand what they are trying to say. And this again brings to mind the fact that we are all different. We have all experienced life differently. And so it's okay to not be in agreement all the time, but we have to understand where we're all coming from in order for us to make the best decision possible. So actively listen. Don't block out what everyone is saying, but actually try to understand them. Next, be open-minded, because you are going to come face to face with some things that you probably are like, no, that's not the way to go. I don't want to hear anything else. But don't do that. Instead, be open to new ideas, new perspectives, because there might be a completely new way of doing something, and it might just change things in a positive manner. I can think about COVID. COVID was a really, really difficult time, I'm sure, for everybody. And at first, it was a bit hard for some individuals to switch over to all of this virtual learning and virtual sessions and events, right? But these virtual modems have allowed us to be able to engage with so many more people. And that's pretty cool if you ask me, because now our movement has been able to expand to areas and individuals that weren't possible in the future when we had less virtual events. But that's really, really exciting. And like I said, a product of being open-minded. So it's going to be important for us to be able to embrace those new, unique ideas that are going to be coming around us. So these are a few of our tips. Fatima, what do you think? Anything to add?
Of course, just to convince you that these are actually important, this is something that comes from our personal experience as well. And this is something that helped us to get adapted and start working in the committee and be more efficient. So definitely make sure that you follow these 5. I mean, there's 5, but there's more tips. I mean, if you have any tips that you can share with us, that would be great as well. That might help our work as well. But these are our top 5s that helped out a lot and are still helping in our volunteering experience, in our work, and our studies. So make sure to follow these tips that were very well explained by Reese. All right.
Yeah, thanks, Fatima. I
So
think we have our last session.
yeah, so the last slide is about Q&A. So if you have any questions for us, you can ask them now. You can also reach out to us on our social media channels. We put all of the work that's going on in the World Scout Committee in general in the world level there, and you can see that. We're also going to post about KISC JOTI because it's a very exciting event for us all in scouting. Also want to wish you all a happy centenary, and hope that you're going to be involved in different parts of these celebrations as well as we're going to be. Yeah, so I don't see any questions here, but as I said, make sure to check out our social media accounts, follow World Scouting channel as well, so that you can get all the information and all the answers that you need from there. And thanks a lot for joining the session.
Yeah, and we see the link to the badge in the chat, so you guys can definitely get those virtual badges. I know those are pretty cool. And continue to enjoy KISC JOTI because it's an awesome experience for all of us so far.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Jan. I didn't know you joined all of our sessions. I appreciate that.
Thanks a lot. That's great.
From the Philippines.
From the Philippines.
Nice.
Straight to the Philippines.
Right. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We don't see any questions. So take care, stay safe, and we hope to see you guys sometime in our scouting journeys.
Thank you all. Have a great KISC JOTI.